What does it take to welcome 200 new lives to the farm in a single morning? Hi, and welcome back to Whitetail Acres Farm. The brooder room is alive right now. 200 baby chicks fresh off of the mail truck this morning, settling into their new home across all 4 levels of the brooders. And I've got to tell you, after the work of putting this brooder room together, designing these 2-tier units and building them from scratch and getting every detail right, seeing it full of healthy, active chicks is one of the best feelings on this farm. But the work that made this morning go smoothly started long before we ever got the call from the post office. The night before, we spent hours in here getting everything ready. We spread fresh wood chips across all 4 levels, each one designed to hold 50 chicks, filled every waterer, both plain water and water with electrolytes, filled every feeder, turned on the heat plates and let them warm up. And then we walked through the room checking and double checking every detail. Here's the thing about receiving chicks through the mail. When that phone call comes from the post office, usually early, usually before you've even had coffee, you don't have time to scramble. Those chicks have been sitting in transit for a couple of days, living off of the yolk that they absorb from hatching, and they need water and they need warmth and they need it immediately. If you're still filling waters when the boxes arrive, or the heat plates are cold because you forgot to plug them in, or you realize you're short on feed, that's stress that those chicks don't need, and neither do you. That first few hours sets the tone for their entire brooder period. So our goal was simple. When we walked back through the door with 4 boxes of chicks, this room needed to be warm, dry, fully stocked, and ready. Walk in, open the box, straight into the brooder, no delays or stress. The next morning, we got the call just after 7 o'clock in the morning, ran out to the post office and came back with 4 boxes, 50 chicks in each, 200 total. As we drove home from the post office, I couldn't help myself. I just had to peek. The sound right there, that's healthy, curious chicks. There's something about the first time you open that box. The little faces looking up at you, the warmth radiating off them. They traveled all this way from the hatchery, and picking them up at the post office first thing in the morning is one of those rituals every chicken keeper knows well. They'll be home and settled into the brooder soon enough, but for right now, I'm just going to enjoy this. When we brought the boxes of chicks into the brooder room, we opened each box and placed 1 box of chicks into each brooder level. Even in those first few seconds, you could see them exploring, pecking at the wood chips and checking out the edges, finding their feet. They are so adorable. Then came the most time-consuming part of the morning, and in our opinion, the most important. One by one, we took every single chick out, gently dipped their beak in water, and showed them where the heat plate is. All 200 of them, one at a time. Now, there's a common belief in the poultry world that you don't need to do this for every bird. The idea is that if you dip maybe 10 or 15 beaks, the rest will follow. They'll see the others drinking, hear the peeping, and just figure it out on their own. And honestly, that probably does work most of the time. But we don't take chances, not with 200 birds, because here's what we've learned. Those first few hours are everything. If a chick doesn't find water quickly, it can go downhill fast. If it can't locate the heat source, it'll waste energy staying warm instead of eating and drinking. And in a batch this size, a handful of birds that gets off to a rough start can create a problem that just ripples through the whole brooder. So we take the time, chick after chick, beak after beak. By the time we're done, every single bird knows exactly where its water source is and exactly where to find warmth. Those are the two essentials, hydration and heat. Everything else they'll figure out. The chicks look great right out of the box. Bright eyes, clean fluff, peeping like crazy, exactly what you want to see. But a few of them did look a little sluggish when they were first in the box and we first opened those boxes up. Their head tucked, not really moving much. It's not unusual. Shipping is stressful and some handle it better than others, but it's always a little concerning when you first see that. But almost like flipping a switch, they perked right up as soon as they got their first sip of water. It's one of the most satisfying things to watch. You dip the beak, they tilt their head back to swallow, and suddenly they're standing taller, looking around and discovering. Within minutes, you can't tell which ones were sluggish and which ones were bouncing at the first start. They are so cute at this stage, all fluff and curiosity. One nice thing about the heat wave we've been dealing with, and I talked about this in the last video, how the hayfields are struggling, is that we hardly need the heat plates right now at all. The temperature in the brooders is ranging from 90 to 100 degrees, which is exactly where you want it for the baby birds in the first week. The chicks aren't crowding around the heat plates at all. Instead, they're spreading out across the wood chips, exploring every corner, napping in little piles, and doing exactly what healthy chicks should do. If they were cold, you'd see them huddled directly under the plate, peeping loudly, barely moving. That's the universal sign something's off. But these chicks are active, curious, and spreading evenly across all 4 levels. That tells us the temperature is right where it needs to be. And for once, the heat wave is actually working in our favor. And here's something I've been thinking about as well. These birds are being raised for meat. That's their purpose. They're not pets, and we're not pretending otherwise. But we truly enjoy the process of raising them and caring for them while they're here. Every check-in, every fresh batch of feed and water refill, it all matters. And in return, they'll provide high-quality meat for our family, raised the way we believe they should be raised, on a small scale with care and attention at every stage. I think there's something important about that, about respecting the animal, the process, and the food it becomes. You don't have to detach from it. You can care deeply and still honor the purpose. And that's homesteading. It's really just being present for all of it. Hey, get out of there. Rocky just went underneath. Over the next few weeks, we'll be sharing their progress, how they grow, how we manage the brooder at this scale, moving them out to pasture, and what it takes to raise 200 meat birds from day-old fluff balls to finished birds. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more meat bird adventures along with everything else going on the farm. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.